we didn't start on Earth and we're going to stay on Earth forever. Earth is a classroom. It's a stopping point where we learn experience, then we move on. And these people killing each other, these earthquakes, these tsunamis, the mass starvation, all the messes that we have on Earth, those are our lessons. Those are the experiences that we need to go through. It's like if you have a son who's going through algebra. Who liked algebra? Anyone like, except for Oscar. Anyone else like algebra? No one likes algebra. Two guys like that. Everyone else doesn't like algebra. And then you have your son, he's tearing his hair out, doing his quadratic equations. Oh, you know, he's hammering his, oh, I hate this, I hate it. And you see him and you say, oh, you know, you may want to say, I'll do it for you. I'll take care. Don't you go and play ball, and I'll do your quadratic equations. And he'd be, great, thanks, Pop, that's really nice. Thanks a lot, bye. But what's he learning? He's not learning his algebra. Okay? He's got to go through the homework. He's got to do the lesson. And we don't tend to look at life as that. We look at life as being something that kind of stands in our way. If only we didn't have a lousy boss. If only we didn't have a broken down car. We could do so much. But these problems are our lessons. And because what we're going through on this world is our lesson, they can't just come down and say, oh, we'll solve that problem for you. Then we wouldn't learn. Now, they are able to help in some ways, and that's another lecture. But they are helping us. They're helping us as much as they possibly can. And one way, of course, is to give us knowledge. For example, we're told that all the holy works that we have on Earth came from advanced beings from other worlds. The Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, the Buddhist scripts, the I Ching, Patanjali's aphorisms, all these came from extraterrestrials who came to Earth to help us by giving us the way, giving us knowledge. So they are helping. All right. Now, we finally get to the main event. So this information, the 7 dimensions of creation, was given to Dr. King on December 6th, 1957. And he was invited to a spacecraft, which was in orbit of Earth at the time, satellite number 3. And it had a cloaking device around it for a variety of reasons. One, of course, if it didn't, we would be scrambling our jets all the time to try and shoot it down. Also, don't forget that these advanced beings from other worlds who do come in spacecraft, do come in flying saucers, they can change their vibration. All right? They don't have to be on the higher realms. They can also come down to our realm, and they can go up to a higher realm at the snap of a finger. They can change their vibration like that. So if you've heard reports about UFOs blinking out, that's the UFO changing its dimension. I shouldn't say that, should I? Should have caught me. Should have pointed that out to me. Changing their vibration to a different realm, a different octave. Okay? So Dr. King was invited to satellite number 3 and did a few other things there. But one of the things that he did when he was there was he noticed these screens. They have these amazing screens on this satellite which show different parts of the Milky Way galaxy. And he said, wow, he was really drawn to them because they were so lifelike. And so he blurted out, wow, they look three-dimensional. It was like a perfect lead-in. They're more than three-dimensional, they're seven-dimensional. And this is where the information was then given. And it was given for a very important reason, given for Dr. King to then bring it back and make it known to those who are ready for it on Earth. And so now we will read what they said. So this is it. Therefore, even basic matter exists within this framework. Will, mind, motion, time, length, breadth, and height. The divine will imposes those conditions upon mind which brings its potential into manifestation as directed motion in a time frame of length, breadth, and height. Huh? This is kind of the way I felt a couple of weeks ago when I was preparing for this lecture. And you read that and you say, oh, you know, it's a brain twister. It seems easy at first, but so we'll go through it a bit slower here. We got will, mind, motion. Those are the three that really are pretty new. Okay? The other four, time, length, breadth, and height, that's basically the space-time continuum. Space-time. Right? That's pretty standard these days. But it's the will, mind, motion. That's the key. And of those three, the one that's really imperative that you nail is mind. At least it was for me. That's the one that you really have to work at. If you can get your handle on mind, if you can really get your mind wrapped around mind, then it really gets clear. But this next sentence is very useful. The divine will, and that is the essence behind all things, the absolute, the supreme, imposes those conditions upon mind, okay, which brings its potential, it meaning the divine will's potential, okay, into manifestation as directed motion. Now, directed motion is evolution. Directed motion, evolution. In a time frame of length, breadth, and height. Okay, so you've got the absolute throws aspects of itself into manifestation, or takes potential and creates manifestation, right? That's the creation into manifestation, and it's moving the parts of itself through a time frame of length, breadth, and height. Now we got to get to mind. That's the tricky bit. Think of divine will as creation. Okay, that's the beginning. It's the Big Bang. It's the outbreathing. It's the beginning of all things. Okay, that's the creative aspect. That's the push. That's the start. And then mind. Think of mind as preservation. It's manifestation. And I'll tell you what, I'll go back a couple of sentences, which I didn't put on the screen, to give us an idea of mind again. Manifestation could not exist without a power which is capable of creating the tension necessary to hold the particles of matter in a certain state. Okay, manifestation cannot exist without a certain power. And this power is mind. He says it in a different way. Now, mind by itself is an all-pervasive energy, which for the sake of simplicity, and we can really use some simplicity. That's a good thing. For the sake of simplicity, you could term as a pattern of potential. So mind is an energy field, which is a pattern of potential, a pattern which to all intents is static until pressures are applied from outside. So think of mind as a tremendous field, a sea of energy holding the matter, length, breadth, height, the matter in a certain tension to hold it in existence. Because remember, most of the space out there is space. Even us, most of us, 99.99999% space. What's holding everything together is magnetism virtually. It's tension. We're holding the atoms together. Most of us, if you could crumble me down to just pure matter, it'd be like you wouldn't be able to see it. It'd be so small. So the mind is that power which holds this matter in this state of tension.